Dear students, in this session, I'll be discussing about the topic planning premises. So, planning premises are certain assumptions about the future on the basis of which the plans will be ultimately formulated. So, here we will understand in this entire session about various types of planning premises and with relevant examples. So, as the definition of planning premises is very simple, it is an assumption about the future. Planning premises are vital to the success of planning as they supply important facts and information relating to the future, such as population trend. So, it is an anticipation about demographic changes. The general economic conditions. So, it is a prediction about the market and economy. The fourth is production cost and price estimation. So, estimation of production expenses, that is, the total cost, is inclusive of variable cost and fixed cost. The fifth is a competitive behavior insight. So, it is very essential to have a view about the rivals and their strategies. Rivals means competitors. And the last is regulatory and capital factors. So it is essential to consider the government control and the resources which are available. So these are the key assumptions which are shaping effective planning decisions. Classification of internal and external planning premises. So let's compare the premises influencing the business planning. First, let's understand about internal premises. Premises may exist within and without the company. Important internal premises includes forecasts, policies and programs of organization, capital investment in plant and equipment, competence of management, skill of the labor force, other resources and abilities of an organization in the form of machine, money, methods and beliefs, behavior and values of the owners and employees of the organization. So, internal premises exist within and are under the company's control. Examples, as we have discussed, it includes from forecasts, policies, programs, and so on. Let's understand the external premises. External exist outside the business environment and are beyond company's control, and they influence demand and the resource availability. External premises may be classified further into three groups such as business environment, factors which influence the demand and for the products and the enterprise, and factors which affect the resource available to the enterprise. These external premises may include examples such as general business and economic environment, technological changes, government policies and regulations, population growth, political stability, sociological factors, and industry demand for the product. So, internal exists within the control of the company, external is outside the control of the company. So, with examples, we have understood the classification of internal and external planning premises. Let's move on to understand tangible versus intangible. What are tangible premises? Some of the planning premises may be tangible. Tangible premises are those which can be quantitatively measured, whereas we can look for certain examples: the growth of population, industry demand, capital and resources invested. Now, what are intangible premises? These are purely qualitative factors that cannot be quantitatively measured. Example, the stability of political party, sociological factors, business and economic environment, attitude of people or public, philosophies, behavior of owners. These are purely qualitative which cannot be measured in quantity. Next, we move on to understand controllable versus non controllable. Controllable premises. These are the factors the organization can influence and modify, which requires periodic plan revision. Example, company policies. Anytime the company can modify the policies. Internal organizational structure. The organizational structure within the organization are purely controllable and it can be modified. Now let's understand non-controllable premises. These are factors outside the company's control and that must be accepted and adapted to. Example, natural calamities, emergency legislation, or changes made by the government. These all are beyond the control, which are the examples of non-controllable. So hence we have discussed tangible, which is visible, intangible, which cannot be seen. Tangible is quantitatively measured, intangible is qualitative factor. Then we moved on to understand controllable versus non-controllable premises. We move on to the concept of summarizing what is that we have understood. So planning premises, every leader and a student must understand and identify and adapt to the planning premises to enhance decisions with confidence and ensure strategic flexibility in the dynamic or changing environment. So it is our responsibility to align, adapt, and accelerate decision making for sustainable organizational success. So hence we have understood the basics of planning premises with the various options like controllable, uncontrollable, tangible, and intangible.